hard.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely not easy.
It's cool that he found that. I like or pictures like that anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thanks to Google.
Oh yeah.
And Keith helped me out with that last night, introducing me to some programs where I could find some various maps and such.
If you look closely in that map, you could see me walk towards the whorehouse.
Yes, I see that.
Mm-hmm.
With
I see
bag of
that.
food, you just stole it from
I
that
see
house right there. Cool. All right. So you guys are at Winter's Angels. It's been a couple weeks since your last little adventure to the Kobold's lair. Anything in specific you want to have done in your downtime?
Stay warm.
Food from neighbors and do we have some library here or anything?
Yeah, there'd be a small library in town.
Yeah, I'd probably be looking through those books.
All right.
Local legends and stuff.
We found a few interesting things. There's some mention of some ruins in the White Fangs. A ruined wizard's tower was somewhere up there. They don't have an exact map for it, but talks about a powerful wizard who is well studied in the arcane. He set up there in the Winter Fangs, working on projects as far as magic items and such. He had some dealings with a dwarf by the name of Targar, and they had like a little business together. The wizard would create items, and the dwarf would bring them down and deliver them to certain merchants around the Isle. It was long ago, before the three kingdoms of Boranagoth had risen. Back when things were more peaceful, and what little humans there were on the islands coincided in peace with the dwarves and elves.
Alright, I'll swipe that book from the library.
Alright. Give me your sleight of hand check.
Just a second, I'm typing this in my note.
Okay.
What'd you say the dwarf's name was?
Damn, I already forgot. I should have wrote it down. I think it was
Star something.
We'll call him Targat.
And my sleight of hands, I'm going to use my, like make a noise on the other side with my thermology.
Okay.
To have advantage.
What kind of noise are you replicating?
A book falling.
Okay. I'll give you advantage for this. As the librarian snaps her head over there to see who's mistreating books. Nice. Yeah, very quickly you're able to take the book and slip it into the fold of your cloak or whatever you may wear. Yeah, your fur cloak. Apparently you made it by with that feat.
Sweet.
read some stuff here. I meant to put it into story, but I ran out of time. Just some information. Hold on a minute. I put your name on those notes.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Yeah, just some things you would have learned about some of the people in the brothel while you've been there. The bartender, his name is Dorn, a human of beyond middle age. Slightly balding, he wears his long white hair in a long braid and has a long full beard. He is known to wield shield and axe with considerable skill. He has worked at Winter's Angels since it opened 8 years ago and protects the women when need be. He is known to share a bed with Madame Jezra from time to time. Madame Jezra, red hair and green eyes, a noble of Engstadt, who sold out some of the other nobles of that city for the promise of refuge here in Jarlbjorn, or the area of Jarlbjorn. Her information led to the fall of one of the oldest, most prominent houses of Engstadt, known as the Ingberits, who was the noble family of the indentured servant Bree, who also works here at the brothel. Of course, Bree hates Madame Jezra with a passion, blaming her, of course, for her servitude. Bree has not yet taken action against Jezra, fearing the retaliation of Jarl Eldrin of House Eriksson, the Lord of Jarlbjorn. The waitress and Fritor Lavaliandra, the golden-haired, sapphire-eyed elf, approximately 122 years of age, indentured into servitude by Jarl Eldrin of House Eriksson purely for the distrust of the Elven people, and her refusal to tell whether she arrived alone or with others upon the isle. They held her captive with the promise of execution if other elves were found and caught. They would be considerable spies for a possible future attack by the Elven people. After some years in a dank, dark, cold cell, she was released into servitude to Winter's Angels, where her freedom was bought by Krusk. The whores. First is Shakasha, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed human woman of middle age, a 5-year veteran of Winter's Angels. About 27 years of age, she has come to rather enjoy her job and toying with the manfolk who come to visit the establishment. Next is Elianelle, short brown hair and violet eyes, approximately 20 years of age. She has been working at Winter's Angels for 8 years. Elianelle always seems to be nervous and scared for some reason.
She should be.
A quiet woman known only as Silence, a dusky-skinned human woman with black hair and eyes the color of stone. She is quite exotic when compared to others from this region. She is ever quiet. Most believe she cannot talk at all. She began working for Winter's Angels about a year ago. It is rumored in Horndale that she comes from across the Forbidden Sea. Next is Andrea, an older whore, a human woman of black hair and blue eyes. For those who like those of more experience, she has pale skin, and she always wears a sultry smile as if she knows a secret no one else knows. Andrea has been working at Winter's Angels for 8 years now. And finally, there's Brea, a very tall, thin redhead with green eyes, a captured noble from Engstadt, approximately 23 years of age, and indentured into servitude at the Winter's Angels for 3 years now. Brea dislikes her work, being an indentured servant. However, she is known to take particular enjoyment in her job, when her services are sought after by other women. She has been seen to place a cold, hate-filled stare in Jezra's direction whenever Jezra turns her back. And that's our whores and bartender. And
You forgot the one for silver.
the one for silver?
The one that costs only one silver.
Oh yeah, that would be Brea. They let her go cheap as punishment.
Poor Brea.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brea.
She seems to like women, but she doesn't care too much for men. Then we got our acting bouncer, Krusk, and the greeter, and I guess you can call him Dr. Sin, who looks after the women who contract diseases and even looks after some of the patrons of Winter's Angels.
He stops them from getting pregnant.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, that's what's going on.
He's not-
That's what's going on.
He helps to prevent them from pregnancy, and he looks after them when they contract diseases or such.
Speaking
All right.
of which, I wonder where he is.
Not sure where you wandered off to. So it's been a couple weeks, and you guys have been staying here, going about your business. It's been kind of calm and quiet. When one night, late at night, it's approaching midnight to be exact, there comes a loud pounding on the front door.
I'll be
Sounds like
sitting
trouble.
at the fireplace reading my book.
All right. So, bouncer, what do you do?
I'm gonna
Fellow
watch.
over there reading his book.
I'm gonna watch the door. Watch the door.
All right. You watch the door, and Bree, she goes over there tentatively and kind of opens the door crack, and she looks out, and then opens the door wide as a gust of snow blows through the door and kind of at first hides the figure of the man standing in the door. He's approximately about 6 feet in height, broad-shouldered, and dressed in fur cloak. You can see he wears like hide boots, mostly made of fur. He's got a long, kind of grayish hair. As he walks through the door, he speaks briskly to Bree for a moment, and she looks around the room, and her eyes fall upon you, Krusk, and she points in your direction. And the man pulls back his cowl, and you recognize him as Kriosk, one of the men of your clan.
It's your uncle.
Kriosk, it's been too long. What brings you to this town?
He brushes the snow from his shoulders, and he reaches up with his left hand, pushing back his cowl, running a hand through his soaked hair. And he kind of looks down at the floor with what looks like poorly disguised sadness, and he walks up to you and he says, I have dire news from the clan. He says a group of our women were taken. He said we were fallen upon in the night. A couple of our guards on watch were killed. We were attacked by a group of orcs and kobolds that had come down from the Winter Fangs. They had made off with 6 girls into the mountains. We've sent warriors up into the mountains to try to locate them and bring them home, but they've never returned.
So what can I do to help, Kriosk?
He says, we figure, he says, Bregden, Uthgard,
One of the women are your older sisters.
He
She
says,
despised you.
She did.
He said
She didn't like me
Brendan
being
is
powerful.
gone. Bregden Uthgard has thought this over and figured you may have a better time of locating the women in the Winter Fangs than any of our other warriors in our clan. Being as how you are the race you are, perhaps you'll have an easier time traveling through those treacherous mountains.
Well, I will assist, Kriosk. I'll have to gather my belongings and make some arrangements to head off. You said they headed off into the Winterfang Mountains with our women?
He says, yes, they did. Some of our men tried to follow them, but there were far too many to engage. Tracking them, we had seen that they had entered somewhere near the center of the mountains, coming here from the region of Jarlbjorn. You may be able to find some clues leading you to where they're encamped in the mountains if you take that same path. He said, I'll lead you to where it is that I was shown that they had traveled up into the Winter Fangs.
Very well. Hopefully this will finally bring glory to me and the clan, and hopefully by bringing the women back, I will be welcomed within the clan more openly.
He kind of nods slowly, one single nod, and he says, indeed, I believe Bregden Uthgard will look upon you in a new light if you're able to bring the captured women back safely from the orcs and goblins that have taken them.
I'll mumble something about seeing a family resemblance between the two of them.
He just looks your way. He's always treated Krusk with indifference. He treats everyone with indifference. He don't seem to hate you for what you are. He don't seem to distrust you like others of the clan do, which is probably why they sent him to look for you.
Well, Kriosk, let us drink up and reminisce over our days within the clan tonight, get some warmth, and perhaps I can convince some of my friends to join me tomorrow as we set off.
He says, this sounds well to me. After a long cold road, I could use a drink to warm my innards.
Yes. Well, come meet my friend over here. This guy who's got his nose in the book.
Alright.
This is Philimos.
Alright. He puts a hand out kind of slowly, seeing that Philimos is a tiefling. Another distrusted race, and not of his clan. He doesn't seem to fully accept Philimos' appearance. He kind of tentatively, slowly puts his arm out to clasp your forearm. And a warrior's clasp. Alright. He just nods.
Of course, I'm weak and
He just kind of nods his head and says, well met. And sits at the table. He kind of keeps glancing at Philimos, taking in your forms and appearance. Don't see too many tieflings in these parts.
It's excellent to meet you. His name's not Crest, but it's similar. What was it?
Kriosk.
Yeah.
Krios.
Not like Krusk. Sorry about that. There must be a distant relative.
So where in the Winterfang Mountains will we be heading?
He says, not exactly sure how far up into the Winterfangs they went. All I can do is show you the path they took to enter the Winterfangs. He says it's best described as the center of the mountain range. They took a path there, leading up into those most treacherous hills and cliffs. He says there wasn't a great deal of them. It shouldn't be terribly hard, although other things have been known to dwell there. He says a lot of the Goblin kin and even giant races are known to have taken a refuge in the Winterfangs.
Excellent.
He says I'm going to be escorting you guys to the path the goblins and orcs was last seen to take into the Winterfangs before they disappeared from our clan members' sights.
I say we would be more than happy to aid Krusk in this adventure. However, we would need snowshoes.
He says, it's understandable, especially if they're in the Winterfangs where the snow becomes even more thick. He says that he reaches into his fur cloak upon his left hip, and you hear a jingle, and he puts a pouch up on the table, and he says, even though you're kin, and Bregden didn't think it fit to pay you, I thought you may need provisions myself, so I took it upon myself to go amongst our clan and collect what coin I could from those who could spare it. He says I have here an amount that'll help you get started for your journey to look for these women who are missing.
I just got a message from Dennis. He'll be here in about 10 minutes.
Okay, I heard my phone go off. That must have been him.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I'm gonna wave down Bree.
Okay. Bree kind of looks over with a sneer. Looks over at Jezra, who's speaking to Dorn, and gives Jezra another one of those looks, like daggers staring into her soul. And she looks back at your table, and her sneer seems to increase, but she walks over, knowing it's her duty.
I haven't noticed.
She just rolls her eyes, and she says, "What can I do for you and your table?"
Bree, can you go over there and get us some brews? Me and my kin here, we're getting a little thirsty. Hopefully, Dorn can. Hopefully, what's that?
What did you name that wine? It was Abyssal Black.
Yeah, Abyssal Black Ale. Oh, I'll get you a link, dude. Give me a second. I'll send you a link of a whole bunch of brews. Because I'm going to throw another one at you here in just a second.
What type of vehicle did you pick, Russ?
What kind of what?
Vehicle?
Vehicle? What do you mean vehicle?
Isn't your class get a training in one of the vehicles?
No. I ain't got no vehicle. I know how to... Yeah, I got this little flute, been practicing on. You wanna hear it?
I'd rather not.
Yeah, it's probably pretty good. Some people have been saying, that sounds horrible.
What I was thinking was being slay with dogs.
Nah, I don't know how to do that, but, you know how to do that?
No, that's why I was asking if you did.
Oh, crap, I don't know, maybe my kinsman here can, show us one day. But, I ain't even got no dogs. Oh, that reminds me. Before we go this time, I'm bringing a dog. Remember last time, I was gonna get a dog. I forgot to bring a dog.
That's what I'm saying. We could buy some dogs and a sleigh, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds like a good
Have to
idea.
bring food for these women, right? And clothing.
Yeah, that we're gonna have to do. Yeah, let's do that. So, oh, I'm sorry, Bree, I didn't mean to ignore you. But, can you ask, Dorn over there if he's got some of, that, Rime Fire wine? That stuff that's brewed up in the Northlands, supposed to, stave off the effects of the cold? You know what I'm talking about, right, Bree?
She just kind of nods her head, kind of rolling her eyes again, and says, Rhine Fire Wine. Got it. All around? You want a bottle? A mug each? What do you want?
A bottle.
Yeah.
Very
Bottle.
well. Bottle of Rhine Fire Wine. And she kind of turns her back and walks over to the bar.
He goes, watch this. And I'll dig through my coin pouch, looking. Eventually I'll find a copper coin and I'll pull it out and put it on the table. She gonna like this. Watch.
Alright. So she's over there for a little bit as he grabs a bottle and they talk for a moment and he looks over at you guys and nods his head and he puts a few clean glasses up there and she comes over and sets the little round platter with the bottle and 3 glasses down on the table, and she just kind of glances at the copper coin and looks back up at Kresk, and the sneer quickly returns, and she just turns her back really quickly and kind of struts away.
I'll smack your ass.
She flinches as her butt cheeks clench.
And I'll take the copper coin. And I'll flick it at the back of her head.
She lets out a little yelp. Another coin. Alright, give me a ranged attack.
Oh boy. Oops. 16.
Alright.
16.
Well, there comes like a clink as it flies from your hand, spinning end over end across the room, where it snaps successfully into the back of her head. Her head kind of snaps forward just a touch, a fraction of an inch, and she reaches up to feel the back of her head and whispers, "Son of a bitch!" A strong curse. She doesn't even walk back. She just seems to speed up and walk across the room, where she flops down on a couch, just kind of staring at the floor.
Hey.
Ugh, she cussed you out.
I'm gonna yell across the room. Hey, Bree, you dropped your tip.
She doesn't even look up.
I'm gonna say, well, let's go and search for some supplies, and I'll grab the bottle of fire, whatever it is, and start heading out the door.
At midnight?
That's the perfect time. That's when the guards are out.
It sounds like fun for the most.
Alright.
You gonna come with us, Kresk, or you want me to get you a room for tonight? Or we go get supplies for tonight?
Crest says he's very tired. Says he's been traveling for days with hardly any sleep. He says I'd rather turn in for the night, get some rest before we head out in the morning again.
Alright, well, I'll tell you what, you can stay in my room, and I'll give him directions to wherever my room is. I'll just sleep out here on one of the couches tonight, let you get some good rest.
Alright.
You can always sleep in Bree's room.
Leandra, who's traveling near, picking up some more mugs, she kind of looks in your direction kind of shyly, and she says, the least I can do is offer you a place to sleep. You have freed me. She said you're welcome to share my bed for the night.
Oh, this is gonna be a good night. Right on. I'll be there tonight.
Alright.
She's gonna slit your throat.
Nah, at least I'll die smiling.
She is Elvin. You better watch out.
You'll have to offer to take her to the Isles.
Maybe I will. We got pressing business. We gotta go find us some dogs, Philimos. Some vicious dogs, you know what I mean?
We gotta get blankets and stuff for your... Oh, they're not whores, are they? They're just women.
Yeah, clan the women.
Yeah, Grios would have told you it's about a week and a half to the trail the goblin races, the orcs and goblins have taken into the Winter Fangs. So you may want to get whatever provisions you think you may need. Who knows how long you'll be in the Winter Fangs once you reach the trail.
Excellent. So we'll head towards the You want to do supplies first, or you want to go for like a sled first?
Well, if we're gonna get a sled, we gotta get dogs.
Might actually have to buy dogs so that they don't attack us.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good thing not to like go kidnap dogs in the middle of the night. They'd bite us. Yeah.
Did you guys get the? Did I tell you how much gold was in the pouch?
No.
Nope.
Okay, you got about 100 gold in that pouch.
Nice. We're gonna be able to make a real good sled team out of that kind of money.
Yeah, we'll save that money for the dogs because they're what, 25 each?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure actually. I don't know why I'm saying yeah.
So,
do they have dogs? The players have dogs?
Yeah, they're mastiffs.
Yeah. Welcome, Saint.
yeah, he ain't in TeamSpeak yet. He's still waking up or something.
No, I didn't hear him tonight.
He's still waking up or something. So,
alright. See you guys
So, where are we,
was already sleeping by the time you guys got your message.
Gotcha.
So you'll still have to fill Sin in.
Gotcha. Should we grab Sin before we head out for Limas, or should we let him see to making sure Bree's alright, if you know what I mean?
User entered your channel.
Welcome, Dennis.
Welcome, Sin.
Yeah, we was just talking about you, Sin.
We're gonna go rip off supplies.
Mm-hmm. You wanna come? You wanna come?
I already got some trouble, I see.
Yeah. You might want to check the back of Bree's head. I threw a copper tip at her and it plugged her in the back of the head.
Let's start with this. I had said Sin was up there sleeping. So, you guys go up there and wake him up? Fill him in on what had happened?
I'll let Chris do that.
Alright. So I'll walk upstairs and then I'll just start pounding on his door as loud as I can. Sin, wake up! On his door as loud as I can. Sin, wake up!
Alright. So Sin, you wake up to a pounding on your door? And
Sin
Russ
groans,
screaming for you to wake up?
lifting a hand to his head as he starts to yell out and then winces and then gets up and goes to the door. What is it?
We gotta go on a supply run, and the limo said that I should come up here and wake you.
Okay, I'll be right down.
Oh, and your girl Bree downstairs, she's got a bump on the back of her head. You might want to check it out.
Damn, Krusk. While Jason stepped away, I'm going to go ahead and read some of this information to Sin. You and Jason already heard it. The information on the brothel. So, the brothel named Winter's Angels, if you could see the map there, Sin, Winter's Angels is the building on the right facing the well. Krusk is currently acting as the bouncer, and you, as we discussed, is kind of a doctor figure for the brothel, as well as a greeter. You greet some of the people who come into the brothel. The bartender, Dorn, he is a human of beyond middle age, slightly balding. He wears long white hair and a long braid, and has a long full beard. He is known to wield a shield and axe with considerable skill. He has worked in Winter's Angels since it opened 8 years ago and protects the women when need be. He is known to share a bed with the Madame Jezra from time to time. Madame Jezra of red hair and green eyes, also a noble of Angstadt, who sold out some of the other nobles of that city for the promise of refuge here in Horndale. Her information led to the fall of one of the oldest, most prominent houses in Angstadt, known as the Ingvarits, who was the noble family of the indentured servant Anhor Bree. Of course, Bree hates Madame